Go Bills.
Yo, what's going on, Mafia? Bills Mafia, this is Mafia Talk. It's your boy, Julian J. Mafia. I got Big Cuz Pedro PC with me, as always, man. How you feeling, Cuz?
Good, man. We good. Ready for this game, man.
As always, man, this is the season opener, baby. This is Bills versus Rams. This was supposed to be the Super Bowl, but let's not dive too much into that. Let's just talk about this matchup and how is Josh Allen versus Matthew Stafford, Von Miller going against his old team. This is, however you want to describe it, is a hell of a season opener. Two big time teams going at it to open up the NFL season to 2022, 23, whatever the fuck. One of them years.
2022, 2023.
It's all the same year, man. I don't care. We're in a paradox.
We're just all living in the Matrix.
I'm telling you, but nonetheless, this is a Bills episode. This is a Bills podcast, not no Matrix podcast. So we're gonna talk about Bills. We can talk about that too. We can dive down the rabbit hole.
Bills hole. We don't want to go down that hole. No.
Anyways, because man, how you feel? This is a huge game, man. Huge. I feel great. I feel wonderful. I got Josh Allen, number 17, at the helm, taking snaps. I got number 14 catching the ball. I got number 13 catching the ball. I got number 26. So, man, we got a bunch of numbers doing a lot of things. But is that going to be enough to stop the Rams? You tell me.
I think we win on Thursday in a close game. I think it's going to come down to the wire.
Game?
Yeah, it's going to be a close game. I think Josh makes that last. Josh, I think Josh makes the play to put us ahead, and Von Miller ices it with a sack.
And that's all the Bills that's what the Bills paid for.
Yeah.
Am I right?
That's what you brought him in here for.
Yeah.
To finish the game.
Von Miller and Josh Allen for.
Yes, right. So I don't know. It's gonna be close, man. For me, it's either gonna come down to who makes that big mistake, or whoever's got the ball last.
Because there is multiple ways this game can go. We can blow them out. We can get blown out. It could be a tight game. It could be multiple ways. It could be some bullshit as well. We've dealt with it all.
Yeah.
I mean, we can only speculate on the possibilities until the outcome comes to us. But that's what we're here for right now. We're going to talk about the outcomes and what the possibilities can happen. We could talk about Josh Allen, what he could possibly do or what we can't do. But we're going to dive down that rabbit hole.
Well, for me, this game comes down to because, obviously Ramsey's probably going to follow Diggs wherever Diggs goes.
Yep.
So it's going to come down to, in my opinion, I think it's going to come down to Gabe Davis and Dawson Knox.
Okay.
And, it's just, I'm not saying that Ramsey's going to lock Diggs up, but they're going to take that attention. You don't have to force feed Diggs. That's why you got weapons on the other side.
And Stephon Diggs talked about it on his podcast. I forgot whose podcast it was, but he talked about it after the Chiefs game where he said, that's my job. I know I only got like 7 yards out the game and I did nothing, but that's my job. I drew the attention away, for Gabe Davis to have a Hall of Fame game. That's what it was. It was, Hall of Fame game, however you want to call it. It was a record-setting game that not even the greats have done.
Absolutely.
They could have done it, but they haven't. So, yes, that's what we're paying Stephon Diggs for. Yeah, to get the big gains, big yards, big catches, or get literally nothing on the game, but you're drawing attention for somebody else to eat. We need all of it.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, that's the big matchup with this game. Our receivers versus their corners, and their receivers versus our corners.
Yep.
That's because, we're going into this without our all-pro corner. And we all know Trey White's on the PUP list. So, right. But, Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson are going to be hard to deal with, man. And Van Jefferson. I don't know, though, because I don't know if Matt Stafford's completely healthy.
He has that elbow injury that's hindering him. So we're going to see exactly how is that going to affect Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. Like, all over the place is going to be interesting. Like,
Yeah.
For me, the Bills have to be able to weather that first initial storm.
How big of a game is this for Josh Allen as a big time quarterback? Because I feel like they're already kind of I wouldn't say crowning him, but they're giving the credit where it's due. Been long overdue. So, what does this game really speak out to Josh Allen? Depending if he wins or loses or how he performs. If he blows, if he
got to go out there
400 yards, 3 touchdowns, rush 50 yards, put it on his back. I mean, he's gonna be crowned. I mean, that's his MVP run right then and there.
He's got the whole team has got. We got to come out and show the hype is real.
Yes, not like last year because the hype felt real last year, but the Steelers came to Orchard Park and kind of they didn't punch us in our face, but it was a nice fight. But they just came up on top. They had that last
we weren't
that block punt was like that uppercut that kind of like made us like dazed us and kind of like shit, damn, I can't really. What do we see one of those where it's just a tough brawl right then and there, and then whoever gets that pick, that turnover, that fumble, that recovery, special teams or whatever team is out there. I mean, does it come down to that? I mean, we can just speculate on that.
Well, last year, we weren't the favorites last year. We're the favorites now.
Yeah.
All year, all summer, that's all we've been hearing, how the Bills are the favorites. It's a big difference. Like now we have to go out there on national TV and show why we are the favorites.
As we always.
Like they gotta weather that first, because the Rams are gonna be hyped. They're gonna put that banner up. It's the first game back. It's the first game at home since the Super Bowl.
LA is gonna blow it out. What they got Ozzy Osbourne playing the second half.
Yeah, halftime. Yeah, the halftime show.
It's gonna be big. It's gonna be big there. They're gonna blow it crazy. I remember watching the Rams opener, and they had the one Asian drummer or DJ. It was a party before the game.
Yeah, but like I'm not talking about like the party and all that. I'm talking about the adrenaline. The Rams are gonna come out on fire. They're gonna punch us in the mouth at first to start it. We have to be able to weather that initial storm, and then just play your game plan. Just do what you came out there to do.
Absolutely.
Realize that the Rams are going to be hyped. They're going to have that adrenaline from the home crowd. They're going to have that energy from raising that banner. So in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the game, we just got to weather that storm.
Okay.
If we could weather that storm, I think we'll be just fine. And you have to know where Aaron Donald is at all times.
All times.
Let's
refer back to the last time we played them. Let's talk about that game. Why do you think they came back that game? How?
I don't know, man. That was like 2 years ago. I remember the big plays, but
I could tell you because I watched it multiple times, man. Like I said, I'm all the time. I just like to go back and watch Bills games on the NFL Network. It was a great game. The first half, the Bills dominated.
Bills dominated. Foot off the gas, and that interception that wasn't an interception.
No,
that was a big turning point in the game and a momentum switch. When that wasn't a pick, it wasn't a pick.
And then the rules, and I remember watching that game, and even I forgot his name, but he analyzes all calls after the call's made.
Probably,
and you tell him, no, that was a terrible call. They should have never made that call. It makes no reason. The thing is, it wasn't a clear interception. Yes, it was. My analogy on it, it was a clear pass interference. Who was it? Not Sweeney. It was Tyler Kroft.
Yeah, it was Tyler Kroft, I think.
Tyler Kroft. He pushed off and caught the ball, and it went down, hit the ground, and then they started wrestling it. But even after the fact, Tyler Kroft came up with the ball. But because go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, finish. Go ahead.
I'm saying he pushed off, caught the ball, and then they kind of like touched at the same time. But Kroft had majority possession, fell on the ground. He was fighting for it. But then after the whistles was called and all that, Tyler Kroft still came out the ball. But through all the time was like a good 5-10 minutes, we had to wait. They said it was an interception. But my analogy was and my logic on it was if it was a offensive pass interference. He pushed off. Right when he pushed off, it's canceled. How can you call an interception after that? That's just what blew my mind.
Either way, the rule is if both players come down with the ball, it goes to the offense.
Yes.
And that's not even what happened. Croft came down with it, and the guy went in and kind of took it from him as they were coming down.
But Croft still came up with the ball.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that was a big, and honestly, I think we just took our foot off the gas, man.
We did, because after that fact, we kind of did shoot ourselves in the leg. It was a bunch of stalled drives. They scored on their drives, and we stalled out a lot of a couple 3-and-outs and penalties backing Josh up and just couldn't convert on the third and just stuff like that. But at the end of the day, at the end of that game, Josh Allen was the comeback kid, as he was.
Yeah, I think the referees gave us a makeup call though at the end for that interception.
I agree.
Because I mean, Gabe got interfered with, but how often do they make that call at the end of the game?
I agree.
You know, like I think they gave us that call because they knew they missed that interception.
But it wasn't as egregious as that
the
interception.
The Diggs one in Tampa Bay.
I mean, there's literally 3 to 4 video or pictures of his jersey getting ripped off. You see his whole breastplate of his shoulder pads.
Yeah.
You see the little, because usually it's like a shoulder pad and then the under shoulder pad. You see the top layer of the shoulder pad.
Absolutely.
Like, multiple videos. I seen his rib cage, his rib guard.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Multiple pictures are out there and none of them were called. But when it comes down to vice versa, we don't get the call.
Right.
So I mean, they do it to us, no call, but we barely do it to them because there was a couple calls where who was it? Levi Wallace. He barely turned around because of what's his name? He was interfering with him, but because he tried to jump over him, try to catch it, Mike Evans.
Oh yeah.
He tried to catch over Levi Wallace, but we get the call.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It just comes to petty down, but. Let's not dive too much in that. That was last year. We talking about this year. We talking about the season opener with Bills versus Rams. So it's gonna be a crazy game, man.
So give me your player of the game and give me a score. Give me a prediction.
Player of the game is obviously Josh Allen. But besides Josh Allen, I'm gonna give it to Josh and Vaughn. It has to be. Those are the people we gave majority of our money to. Why can't they be them? I mean, I would give it to Ed Oliver, or it could be Elam. It could be Group. It could be Poyer Hyde. It could be a variety of players. But I'm putting the pressure on Vaughn and Josh.
Okay. So give me a score then.
I don't want it to be a shootout because of defense. I'm going to say it straight right here. It's going to be 35-21.
Okay.
35-21.
Okay. So for me, obviously, Josh, player of the game. I mean, it's obvious, right? Yes. So I'm going to go a little less obvious. It's either going to be, for me, it's going to be Gabe Davis. Yeah. Or on offense, a sleeper one, Khalil Shakir.
Whoa. Wasn't expecting that, but that's the only thing about Shakir, the rookie. I feel like, does he get enough snaps?
He will. Oh, he will. I got a feeling, man. Especially if Diggs is busy over on the other side with Ramsey. Okay. I don't know. It's just a sleeper,
Right. You get that feeling.
On defense, Mr. Pick Six back there, Teron Johnson.
Yes.
He's always lurking. Always lurking.
Mr. Pick Six. Hell yeah.
Yeah. And for me, score, I'm gonna say Josh Allen throws a late touchdown. Von Miller ices it with a sack. Bills win 35-31.
35-31, okay. The reason why I feel like we're going to put up the points, but I don't feel that our defense is going to allow that many points against them.
I'm just saying I'm a little worried about the corner situation with their receivers. So I don't know. I just think it's going to be – I think it's going to come down to the end.
These boys, Von practiced with the boys, and Matthew Stafford practiced against Von Miller, so he knows what he expects out of Von. It's only been half a year, but, I mean, you know what you know.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely see we'll see about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I just 35-31 sounds good to me.
Okay. And Bills gonna start the season 1-0.
Yes, sir.
Any thought that we can possibly drop this?
Yeah, obviously. They're the
be
Super Bowl
realistic.
champs. They're the Super Bowl champs for a reason. I mean, they're a good football team. Yeah, they could beat us. I don't think they can beat us. I think they can play well, but we still have to beat ourselves to lose.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If they're a good enough team that if we make mistakes and beat ourselves, they're gonna beat us.
Yeah.
It's not like we could play like shit and still win because we're playing the Jets.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's the Super Bowl champs, and it's opening night, and they just
Mm-hmm.
raised their banner. Like, they're gonna be hyped, man. It's gonna be a tough test.
It's gonna be a party that whole opening. So the Bills gonna have to sit there and be humbled and just watch and see
Motivation.
Yeah.
Like Dig said it. He's like, that's gonna be motivation for me because I want to be where they're at next year.
Mm-hmm.
So I want them to watch the banner being raised. Watch it.
Okay.
Go use it as a motivation.
Nice.
I want Josh to be in the tunnel watching that shit. Watch it.
Let's
go. That's what we want to see. Let's see it. Use it. Put it in your fuel tank. Remember that feeling all year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to go back to that feeling you had when we lost to Kansas City. Take that feeling and go. Let's go.
Fucking go.
You know what I mean? Like, let's go. I want these boys to watch that. Watch it. Watch it. Use it as fuel. Watch it. And it made me so happy to hear Diggs say that, though, when he said it. It's like, yes, like, watch it. Watch them get their banner raised. Because that's where we want to be next year. Thursday Night Football at the Ralph. Getting our banner raised next year.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we want to be.
Ha! That's some fire shit, right? Oh man, don't get me started. We ready. This season opener, but I'm ready.
Is it Thursday yet? Is it Thursday yet?
Man, I'm ready for it. I'm not Thursday. I'm ready for February. I'm ready for the postseason. Oh,
that's another thing I want to say though, man. Like, I feel you. I feel the same way. Like, can we just get to the pre? But like,
we're gonna be there.
Let's enjoy this ride though. Like, let's enjoy the season because yeah, we want to get we definitely want to go and let's get to the playoffs. But man, especially if we do win it all, like, let's just enjoy the ride, man. Because how often? I mean, you know, like, how often does this come? Like, we were bad for 17 years. Like, how often do we get a team this good? Like, let's enjoy it. Let's not try to jump ahead. Like, let's enjoy this ride, man, because it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a hell of a ride, man. It's gonna be a hell of a season, and with just the more talent that we brought in, with just to see Vaughn on the defense, and to see
I'm actually super excited to see that.
See Ed Oliver and Groot and Boogie Basham.
And having Jordan Phillips back in there, and I think Tim Settle's gonna be a fucking wrecking ball for us this year. And Settle and Jones.
And Emmis has a year to prove.
Yeah, let me see what can Bernard do. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like, let's enjoy this ride, man. Let's enjoy it because as long as we got 17, we always got a chance.
Absolutely.
So
right on that note, man. I'm Julian J. Mafia. We got Big Cuz, Pedro PC. This is Mafia Talk. And oh man, let's get ready for the season opener.
Yes, sir.
Oh, it's gonna be a hell of a game. Bills versus Rams. We lit. We already bought it. I'm pretty sure Bills Mafia already drunk all LA's beer already. Pretty sure it's gonna be a beer drought.
They sent over $24,000 worth of Labatt's to LA. That ain't enough.
And that shit's gonna be gone before the game.
Before Thursday. They probably had to do a second shipment by now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They want to freaking fly to Vegas or something to get some more beer, or San Diego.
Right. Overnight shipment from Buffalo.
I'm telling you, bring your own shit. Just lie on another flight, man. Not too much. They on some shit about some liquid, but they can make something work.
Absolutely.
Well, other than that, man, let's go Bills every day, and I love you, Josh. Let's go.
Yes, sir.